Okay, so I have never done anything like this before in any of my videos, but I recently had a friend of mine's wife reach out to me, and she said, "Hey Chris, here's the deal. Dustin's birthday is coming up, and as you know, he's going to be 32, and so I just wanted to have just kind of some words of wisdom and encouragement from some of his friends. I'm going to put them all into a book and then share them with him at dinner on his birthday," which first of all, I thought was a very cool idea. Here's what I'm going to do is I actually took a lot of time to kind of think through and pray through the 5 things that I wanted to share with Dustin. So here's what I did is not only did I share those with him, but I'm now going to be sharing those with you in this video because I think these 5 things can help any pastor or church leader. So let's dive into this video as we talk about how to develop leadership skills in the workplace. All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. My name is Chris Abbott, but all my friends just call me Abbo. If you're new to the channel, this channel exists to help pastors and church leaders use social media and technology in order to grow their churches. But what I wanted to do is do something a little bit different in this video. So you heard me kind of explain the origin of where these 5 things came from, right? But just a little bit of context. So I've got a buddy of mine who just turned 32. He's kind of entering into this next season of life and ministry. And so these are the 5 things that I wrote to him, and then I kind of adapted them for this video to share them with you. So let's dive in. All right, so I started this off simply by saying to my friend, hey Dustin, here are 5 thoughts as you enter into your 32nd year and the next chapter of your life and leadership. No matter how old you are right now as you're watching this video, I believe that these can help you expand your capacity and continue to increase your influence and your leadership. So let's dive into these 5 principles. Number 1, if you're not currently involved with the hardest thing you've ever done in your life, you're probably not growing. Now, I know that might seem kind of extreme and it might even be controversial in some circles, but I believe that's the case, right? I believe that we have to constantly play at the edge of our ability in order to expand our capacity. So, for example, this YouTube channel is something I started this year, right? It's been a massive undertaking. So literally about once a month, I fly from my home in Oklahoma and I leave my wife and kids behind and I fly to Utah for a week and I shoot 40 YouTube videos and then I fly back home. Now, this has been a huge investment in both time and money, and it's one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life, right? It's one thing to have to outline a couple of videos. It's another thing to have to create 40 outlines for every single video and then actually fly out to another state to go film them. But the reason I've been doing this is because I understand that these videos can help church leaders all over the world. I know that I only have enough time and capacity to be able to work with a few churches at a time. But by launching a YouTube channel and putting all these tips and strategies into these videos, right now I can help churches all over the world, and I could potentially help millions of people using these videos. And so that's why I've dedicated so much time in order to be able to do this, because I believe that there are people on the other side of my faithfulness, right? There are people that I'll meet in heaven because there were church leaders and pastors who watched my videos, used my strategies, and then got people saved, and I'll never meet them this side of eternity, right? I believe the same thing is true for you, right? So if you're not currently involved in the hardest thing you've ever done in your entire life, then you're probably not growing, right? It might not be launching a YouTube channel, but constantly playing at the edge of our ability is going to constantly increase our capacity so we can reach more people. All right, number 2, comfort is the currency you pay in exchange for massive growth. Right? So similar to my first point, we have to constantly put ourselves in uncomfortable situations, right? So for me, launching this YouTube channel, that was one of the things I was super uncomfortable with, right? I don't like being in front of the camera. In fact, when I was on staff at my church, I was actually the guy behind the camera. I was running all the video shoots and helping direct all of the videos and all the shoots, right? So it was super uncomfortable for me to now be in front of the camera, right? And to be the one who was talking. But I knew that in order to go to the next level in my life and my ministry, I was going to have to launch this channel, put myself in uncomfortable situations. And the cool thing is I'm almost up to my 200th video, so I'm starting to get the hang of it, right? So I want to ask you, what are some uncomfortable situations that you should be putting yourself into in order to grow? If we constantly stay in our own comfort zone, while it might be safe there, right, we're not continuing to reach new people and we're not continuing to grow. So comfort is the currency you pay in exchange for massive growth, and I believe it's one of the most important things when it comes to actually leading ourselves so that we can lead the people in our church. All right, number 3, the best things in life require the most effort. right? So I think all of us have seen this, right? But the harder we work on something, right, the more time and effort that we pour into something, the better the payoff. I remember when I was in 7th grade, I was a wrestler, and my middle school would have this giant wrestling tournament every single year called the Bulldog Bash, right? And I trained for it, I prepared for it, like I prepared physically for it, I prepared mentally for it, right? Like I wanted to go in, I was gonna win the Bulldog Bash, right? And so the crazy thing is, as a 7th grader, we were also wrestling 8th graders. And so I just decided I was gonna come in and I was gonna win. And so I had to go through this entire tournament, and I had to wrestle guys who were bigger than me, who were stronger than me, who'd been wrestling longer, right? And I had to wrestle some pretty big 8th graders. And so I actually made it to the finals, and wrestling was a really big deal in our town. So we actually had a 2-hour assembly for the wrestling finals of the Bulldog Bash. And all the high school wrestling coaches would come down there, and parents and leaders from the community would show up. It was a really big deal in our town, right? So here we are, after all the years that I've been wrestling, all the months that I've been put into kind of going through this wrestling tournament and, and wrestling kids that were bigger than me, man, I was able to win the Bulldog Bash in front of the entire school and all of those leaders. And not only that, I actually pinned the guy in 20 seconds. So pretty cool deal, but here I am 39 years old, I'm still talking about it, right? Because that was such a huge milestone in my life, right? Because the best things in life require the most effort. That's why your marriage can be one of the best things in life, but it requires the most effort. Raising your kids is one of the best things in life, but it requires the most effort. Growing your church, discipling people, reaching people for Jesus. These are the types of pursuits we have to pour our lives into, but I legitimately believe that the best things in life constantly require the most effort. All right, so before I get to my last 2 points, I want to hear from you, right? What are some of the things that you are most proud of? What are some of the things that have required the most effort in your life, but that had the biggest payoff in the end? So put them in the comments below. I want to know the best things in life require the most effort. What have you seen in your life have required the most effort, but had the biggest payoff? All right, and number 4, the only limitations you have are the ones in your head. Now, I've heard the story of these mega marathons, right? It's basically 4 marathons put together. It's over 100 miles that these mega marathon runners have to run. And so the story goes that in these giant mega marathons, right, the human body can only physically run about 80 to 85 miles before everything just breaks down, right? Like your muscles start to give out, your entire body just gives out, you can't continue to run. And at that point, your brain has to take over. It has to come down to your mental toughness. Okay, so if you guys have ever followed the Navy SEAL David Goggins, right, he talks a lot about this. He runs those mega marathons, right? He also cusses a lot, but he's pretty hardcore, right? And he talks about these mega marathons. Well, supposedly, right, whenever you hit that 80 to 85 mile mark and your body starts to break down, what will happen is the people who are mentally tough will flip a switch in their brain, right? And now it's your mental capacity that gets you to the end of the race, right? And so those last 10, 15, 20 miles, whatever it is, it's all mental toughness that gets you to the finish line. So what I've heard is that the runners who actually finish the race, they'll go back to the exact spot in the track where their body gave out and their mental toughness took over, and they'll take the laces of their shoes out of their running shoes and they'll throw them up into the trees. And so now all of the runners that come behind them, right when they want to give up and their bodies start giving out and they want to quit, they look up and they see the laces in the trees of the runners that have gone before them, and it gives them the hope and encouragement to keep going and finishing the race. I think this is something that we as leaders have to do for the next generation ourselves. We have to understand that the only limitations we have are the ones that we have self-imposed in our own heads. We have to have the mental toughness and fortitude in order to be able to keep going. And then we need to go back and we need to help the next generation get through those tough times as well, right? We have to be able to show the next generation how important a Sabbath is. We have to model for them what godly rest looks like, right? We have to show them what godly discipleship looks like. And so one of the things that we need to constantly be battling, right, are these limiting beliefs that we have about we're not good enough, or we're not smart enough, or we don't have enough money, or our church isn't big enough, or we've got a portable church, right, or we don't have enough volunteers. Whatever it is, we have to get through that, and we have to understand those are not limitations. Pastor Craig Rochelle says that limited resources are a breeding ground for innovation. So instead, take those limitations and say, okay, these limitations, the fact that I have a small budget is actually an unfair advantage. So how can I use that to my advantage? What can I create? What can I do that maybe doesn't cost a lot of money, but I can invest some time or some innovation into, and I can reach the world in a way that's never been done before? And finally, number 5, who, not how. So the question isn't how do you navigate this next season of life, but the real question is who do you need to become in order to navigate this next season of life? right? So in your ministry, in your leadership, right, who do you need to become in order to break through the 200 barrier? Right? Or the 400 barrier or the 1,000 barrier? Who do you need to become in order to start recruiting volunteers in a better way? Who do you need to become in order to start using social media in a way that attracts new families every single Sunday? Right? I think a lot of times we ask the wrong question and we start thinking, okay, what are the tactics? What are the strategies? Right? How do we need to do this? But the real question isn't how do we do this? It's who do we need to become in order to do this? All right, so I hope you found this video valuable. Again, doing something a little bit different than we normally did. So I hope these 5 thoughts helped you as a leader, right, to not only develop skills in the workplace and at your church, but also in your family, your marriage, and even in your friendship. So if you like this video and you want to learn more about how you can use social media and technology in order to attract new visitors to your church every single Sunday, we have a free gift for you. Just go over to churchgrowthagency.com. You can watch a free video that shows you exactly how to do that. So go to churchgrowthagency.com or click on the link in the description below. We'll see you soon.